What's good, Seahawk fans? Welcome in. Seahawks Today live, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we'll have the latest Seattle Seahawks news and rumors as the Seahawks got very good news about Kenneth Walker III. He is set to return and play this Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Later on, we'll have our live Q&A mailbag where we will take your questions and answer them in real time on anything and everything related to your Seattle Seahawks. Use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get to the front of the line. And then later on, we'll have a comprehensive preview of the Seahawks and Niners game this weekend. I'll give you my 5 keys to a Seahawks victory. And before we get started, this is kind of our build-up portion of the show. We have to get to 50 likes before we officially start the show. And I have the fireball in hand right here, folks, so I'll take a shot when we get to that 50-like mark. So get those likes, and we'll get going. As we are building up here, shout out your city. Where are you watching from today? We are in beautiful Dallas, Texas, downtown Dallas. Myself, joined by the one and only Jeremy Chuggs, is back.
Heyo!
Chuggsy, the Seahawk fans, they missed you on the watch party, but nonetheless, we had a good time. Glad to have you back. How you doing, man?
Seahawks win. Huge win.
Big win.
Big win. Let's go. Let's freaking go.
Yes.
Russ was using a microwave on Monday night. He couldn't cook.
They said, let Russ cook. I don't know what he was cooking. I mean, whatever he cooked got burned in the oven.
He was cooking Hot Pockets.
Yeah. It was not good. Shout out your city. Where are you guys watching from today? I'll go through the comment section. I see Mad Wolf and JB in Seattle.
Heyo.
Carlos checking in from Yakima, Washington. Coach Dreadhead in Seattle, the city of rain, says Dreadhead. Ain't that true? Let's see. Matthew says pudgy sound. Seigan says 619. Also got Isaac checking in from Seattle as well. A very Seattle-centric audience so far today.
It's
Travis
crazy.
checking in.
You wouldn't think that with the Seattle Seahawks channel. So
what a concept, right?
Wow.
Isaac checking in from Seattle. Travis checking in from Spokane. Let us know where you are watching from today on this edition of Seahawks Today. Now, another question that we have for you guys that we want to know here on the program. How many all-time Seahawks quarterbacks can you name?
Contest time.
Let's see who can name the most Seahawks quarterbacks. This doesn't have to just be starters. You can name backups. You can go all the way back. Let's see who can name the most Seahawks quarterbacks of all time. And the chat already going here. Let's see who can win this contest and name the
Kent Washington
the most.
From Evan Brown.
Kent Washington, that's the town, but not a quarterback. Town or quarterback could be a whole other quiz in itself.
That sounds like a name, though.
Kent Washington, if you were to ask.
It sounds like a random backup quarterback from the 80s that you're friends with him from high school and you're like, oh, yeah, you know that third-string quarterback, Kent Washington?
Yeah, he came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, remember? He had that one preseason where he went off.
If they would have put him in the fourth quarter, he would have gone pro. They would have won state. I mean, it would have been great.
I know.
Uncle Rico vibe.
I know this isn't a town. B.J. Daniels.
B.J. Daniels is a quarterback, not a town. Good one, JB. Let's see. What quarterbacks can you name? I don't want to give anything away yet because I don't want to let you guys cheat. But I could name a lot right away. Here we go. Matthew getting it going. Matt Hasselbeck, Geno Smith, Russell Wilson. Well, this is pretty obvious. Those 3 there. Can't think of any others. Matthew, right on the Seahawks roster right now. Drew Lock. There's another one for you, Matthew.
Also, your namesake, Matt Flynn.
Yeah, Matt Flynn. He got paid a lot of money.
Seahawks legend.
JB, Tavares Jackson, rest in peace. Yes, indeed, to Tavares Jackson.
He had a couple of years in the NFL where he was kind of good.
Yeah. Jim Zorn getting in the chat.
Hey-o.
There we go. Come on, Matthew. I know you can do more than just give me Hasselbeck, Geno Smith, and Russell Wilson. I mean, come on now, Matt. Warren Moon. Matthew jumping ahead. C.J. Stroud. Maybe, but we'll talk more about that later. Geno Smith, he impressed me. He did. It makes the quarterback situation feel a lot better about this team.
Quarterback Mark Sanchez going with Rick, I'm going to say this wrong,
Okay.
Meyer?
Coach Dreadhead says Marcus Trufant. That's a cornerback, but nice try. Mark Sanchez, Dan McGuire. Pablo says, what's up? Ray, here we go. Nick Fury. Nick, he's
bringing
a real
in the
one.
heat.
Nick's winning right now. Jim Zorn, Russell Wilson, Dave, Gino, Matt, Seneca Wallace. Seneca Wallace getting in the chat. Jacob Eason, Drew Lock, Matt Flynn, Tavares Jackson, Sean Mannion. Mannion, do we count that? He's on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it to him. Trevor Simeon. Pablo, when is Kenneth Walker coming back? More on that in a moment. We'll have that on today's show.
And also, more on this later on in the show. A full Seahawks versus 49ers preview. But before we do it, we want to hear from you.
Your turn.
Predict the score.
Predict the score. Put a score on it.
TJ, what are we looking at?
So,
could be a rainy day, which I think favors the Seahawks.
So setting the scene for Sunday. It's supposed to be very rainy in San Francisco, which is like another day in Seattle, right? And, you know, this Seattle team coming off a win, San Francisco coming off a loss. Trey Lance did not look good last week in Chicago here.
In the rain.
The line is 10. I'm hammering the 10 on Seattle to cover that 10-point margin. What say you guys?
I'm hammering Seattle to cover and the under.
Okay. I like that. What is the over-under at?
40.5, I believe, or 40.
Okay. Yeah. Hammering the under. So I think that you could be looking at like a 17-10, 17-13 type ball game potentially.
Yep, I could see that.
All right, here we go in the chat.
I feel like this is gonna be a weird score game. It's gonna be like Seahawks win 17-15.
Okay. The club says 21-35. Mad Wolf says 27-14. Matthew says Seahawks 27-20. Batman fan 20 Batman. I haven't seen you in a while, Batman. Welcome back. Seahawks up 28-20.
He's Batman.
Batman begins. Seigan says Seahawks 24-20.
Johnny Clark says 27-3. Niners are garbage.
Deleted says 44-13. That would be amazing if that happens with the weather we're talking about this weekend. The club says 17-21 with rain. Coach Dreadhead says Seahawks 21-13. Donnie Clark says 27-3. Niners are garbage. CWE Bed-Stuy says 28-21. JV says 23-17. Sienna says 27-17. Mark Sanchez in the chat says Hawks 19, 49ers 14. Jake Williams says 24-14 Hawks. Dre says depends. We win if Lance plays. If Jimmy plays, we lose. Well, Lance is playing, barring some injury, but as far as we know, Trey Lance is playing unless
interesting. If Jimmy G, I don't think Jimmy G. It would have to be some catastrophic.
It had to be an in-game injury.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll officially start the show. We're about 15 likes away when we get to 50, and I will take the shot fireball. There we go. Got to get in camera. Fireball in hand.
There we go.
So once we get to 50 likes, we'll officially get going here. More picks coming in. Ray says Seahawks 27-23. Bali Lama, not the Dalai Lama, the Bali Lama, says Seattle 21-17. Anthony says Seahawks 24-17. OTX 27-17. Let's see. Grusker says literally zero chance San Francisco benches Lance this week. Right, that's what we're saying. It would have to be a situation where Lance would get hurt, and he's healthy as far as I know. I haven't been told otherwise. Let's see. Matthew says Trey Lance about to be humbled all the way back to backup quarterback. Okay. Sienna says Jimmy G gives us the ball all the time. That's true. JB, 24-15. 10 likes away from officially getting the show started and get that shot in.
A little fireball shot.
We'll fire
Beezy.
Right? I'm feeling good today. I am, and let's have ourselves a day here on Seahawks.
So Tyler put this in, and this is going to be an interesting. I'm interested to see the replies to this question.
What do you hate most about the 49ers?
Tyler?
San Francisco. That would be my answer. San Francisco, that city used to be a great city, and now it's not so much anymore. For me, it's San Francisco, and the elitists that are in San Francisco, I mean, they can't hang like Seattle can. That's what I probably hate most about the 49ers is the city of San Francisco. What say you folks out there? What do you hate most about the 49ers?
The whole city's on the
The whole city is on alert. They're not even in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara, which is like 2 hours away. They're a fraud to begin with. San Francisco, I mean, no one wants to live in San Francisco anymore. Everybody's leaving. And then the fact that you take on their name and you're not even close to there, yeah, San Francisco. That would be
Coach Dredd has the colors, the team, name, everything. Smug-ass fans.
What about you, Jeremy? What do you hate most about the Niners?
What do I hate most about the Niners? I mean, completely transparent. I mean, I don't think I hate anything about the Niners. I mean, I don't root for the Niners. I don't want them to win. But I mean, I can't think of anything that points to them like where I'm like, I absolutely hate them. I've never been to San Francisco, so I don't know. Shit needles. I could come up with something and say like, oh, the Niners front office is the worst, or I hate them. But I mean, I'm just indifferent about them. I don't want them to win. I really don't care about them.
OTX,
kind of never really in my mind.
OTX says the fans. Oh, got a super chat coming in.
Hey-o.
Raw Hector sending in a super chat. Seahawks Nation, let's fly. Man, that one, I told the folks, I believe it was yesterday's show, I said, besides the, Broncos country, let's ride. I said, go ahead and say that ironically in the chat. But if you have other things that sound good to that effect, put it in the comments as well. And you guys got really creative in the comment section yesterday. I saw everything from let's kick it.
I saw Broncos country left wide.
Left wide. So we're about 4 likes away from 50 to start the show. But since Raw Hector sent in that super chat, I'm going to go ahead and take a shot for Raw. And Raw's a real one. I'll still take another one when we get to 50 likes. I need 4 more, and then we can get started. But this one's to you, Raw. I wasn't planning to drink a whole lot today, but you know what? If you guys want me to, we'll take shots today for $5 a piece.
Also, Tyler put this one in. I'm thinking a bunch of R's. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I am right-handed. I am not like what we call producer Jack, left-hand lottery around here.
Yeah.
He gets the most out of that left hand sometimes. We got to 50 likes, by the way. Thank you, guys.
Hey.
So here's another one. We'll begin the show in just a second. I'm a right-hand guy. Got to do everything. Got to write, got to play sports, everything with the right hand. And I think, here's a take for you. I think it is selfish to be left-handed because you are forcing everyone else to teach you everything backwards if you're a lefty. So
Ray says R, what is that, ambidextrous, right? Ooh. Ray says R and L.
Okay. Well, Ray, you got some skills.
Scotty Adams says left.
Okay.
Sijin says both.
Both? Okay. More power to you. What are you, Jeremy?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
I'm a normal person.
Okay. Yes.
I think it's like a unicorn if you could find somebody who's left-handed and has an Audi belly button.
Yeah.
Those two things, if you have both of those things, I feel like you are like you're mythical. I've never seen both those things in one person before.
I'm seeing in the chat, right. Ambidextrous is Anthony. Dano, I'm a lefty. Greg is left. Mark says, for the shots and loathe everything Niners. That's 2 shots for $10.
Doom sent in a super chat. Would signing free agent Landon Collins be a good move?
So, would Landon Collins, since it sounds like that Jamal Adams could be out for the season, that could be a good move, going after Landon Collins. I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I know he's had some injury history in the past. I don't know where his health is at right now. If he's healthy, I wouldn't hate it either.
Yeah.
And then we got that $10 super chat.
This is 2 shots.
From Mark
Sanchez. Mark Sanchez, Jets legend, coming on, checking in with Seahawks.
Huge fan of Seahawks Today.
I love it. Mark Sanchez, the real Mark Sanchez here for the shots. 2 shots from
Not
Mark.
for sale says R, but I can switch hit. Nice.
Poop Dog says I piss left-handed. Okay.
I feel like if I heard if you sit on your hand, it feels like someone else is pissing.
All right. One more shot.
You like that one, Tyler.
I did like that. Not going to lie. One more shot, and then we will get the show started.
While Tyler's taking that down, y'all can go ahead and get your questions in using hashtag Seahawks or super chat like Doom, Mark Sanchez, Raw Hector has done. We're going to answer your questions in our live Q&A coming up after the first segment. But you can get your questions in now so I can have time to filter them out, get the questions up here. Remember, just put in a comment, use hashtag Seahawks in your comment. That way I can find it and put your question on screen, just like I did for Raw Hector, Doom, and Mark Sanchez.
And we're doing a sale, $5 shots today.
Hey-o.
And so that gets you a shot into the front of the line. So.
And guys, I wasn't even planning on this today. If we get to 100 in supers, I'll go ahead and do a boot.
Ooh!
I'll do a boot if we can get to $100 in super chats.
$100 in super chats, and Jeremy Choggs will do a boot here on the channel today on Seahawks Today Live. How about that? So if you need any incentive. All right. We will get started. The show begins in just a few moments from right now here on Seahawks Today Live. Let's get after it, shall we?
Yeah, just a reminder of what's coming up on the show. We talk about Kenneth Walker returning, our live Q&A, and a Seahawks versus 49ers preview, TJ.
Yes. Pablo says, Tyler Jones, are you drunk? Not yet, but you buy me enough shots, who knows what could happen. Anyways, all right, let's get started. Seahawks Today Live begins right now. Okay. In 1 second. Welcome in to Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. On today's show, we have some very good news to get to in regards to Seahawks rookie running back Kenneth Walker III. We will tell you about that in just one moment from right now. Before we do, though, got to make sure that you are subscribed to Seahawks Today as the Seahawks get ready to take on the San Francisco 49ers this week. We are in a sub-battle with the 49ers report. Chase Sr., good guy, but I want to beat Chase Sr. I want to win this sub-battle, and we got to prove that the Seahawks are not just the better team on the football field, but off the football field as well, on the internet. Got to have you subscribe to the channel so you can be a part of what we're doing each and every day. Watch parties, live shows, breaking news, rumors, and everything but in between. It's all in one place right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV, and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Guess who's back? Back again. It's Pete Carroll saying that Seahawks rookie running back Kenneth Walker III will return this week for the Seattle Seahawks and play on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Great news for Seattle to have Kenneth Walker III back. Dealt with a situation with a hernia after the Steelers game, the first preseason game. And Kenneth Walker, the resume speaks for itself. What he was able to do out of Michigan State, he was the second round draft choice of the Seahawks, picked behind Boye Mafe and was just outstanding at Michigan State. A unanimous All-American, Doak Walker Award winner, and Walter Camp Award winner. Very fast, 4.38 40 time at the NFL Combine. And you add him in with Rashaad Penny and what we saw in the preseason from DeeJay Dallas and Travis Homer, all of a sudden the Seahawks have a really good running back room. And Kenneth Walker III, at the time when he was drafted, we didn't know the status of Chris Carson like we do now. And so at the time people said, wait, that's pretty high for a running back, right? But little did we know about Chris Carson not being able to play this year at that point. And so Kenneth Walker turns into a guy that's much needed, that can be an instant impact for this Seahawks offense. And while you put him and Penny together, these guys should be a really good 1-2 punch. And so with that, who's going to have a bigger year? We saw Rashaad Penny finish off 2021 so well. Can Kenneth Walker III have a bigger year than Rashaad Penny? What say you? This is our pin comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. Let me know in the comment section. Will Kenneth Walker have a bigger year than Rashaad Penny? Personally, I'm rooting for both guys. I want to see them both succeed here. But let me know in the comment section. Why for yes, in for no, if Kenneth Walker will have a bigger year than Rashaad Penny. Personally, I think that Kenneth Walker is going to be a star in this league. He has everything I want in a running back. He's got speed, he's got power, acceleration. I mean, my boss, James Yoder, can tell you about how much he tore apart the Michigan Wolverines last year in that battle between Michigan State and Michigan. I mean, he is so electric and was so good in college, and his game is going to translate to the NFL just fine. And you look at the depth chart now for the backfield for the Seahawks here. Rashaad Penny and Kenneth Walker, your 1-2 punch. And in this day and age, in this National Football League, you have to have multiple options. You got to keep everybody fresh. I mean, look at what happened in the preseason. 1 week, Rashaad Penny was gone. Kenneth Walker was gone another week. You have to have multiple options here. These two will make each other better. So I'm not worried about who's RB1 or who's RB2. That doesn't matter, quite frankly. Both these guys are going to get playing time and play a significant role for this Seattle Seahawks team. You look at the statistics of what Walker did in college. Last season, he ended up with 18 touchdowns, 1,600 yards. The year before that, 13 touchdowns, 579 yards. He was just really good there and played for two schools. Started at Wake Forest, ended up at Michigan State, and was just an all-around player. Had no problems adapting to Michigan State's system. And quite frankly, personally, in my opinion, when I look at Kenneth Walker, adding him to the fold with Rashaad Penny and what we saw out of Penny at the end of last year, I don't think it's a stretch to say the Seahawks have one of the best backfields in football. I really do. I think these two together are going to be a great 1-2 punch. I'm excited about what they bring to the table, and DeeJay Dallas is your third down back of sorts and being able to be a receiver in the backfield too. It's going to be fun. Look, Pete Carroll has put an emphasis on running the football, and they have the backs to run the football. Now it's up to the offensive line to see what they can do to take that next step as well to push these guys to where they need to go. So, prediction time here on Seahawks Today. 600 rushing yards for Kenneth Walker III this year. Is that achievable? Do you think he can reach that milestone? If so, type O for over. If you think that's going to be under, that's okay. I'm not going to shame you for thinking that way. Type U for under. Let me know in the comment section. O for over, U for under. Let me know in the comment section below. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive betting partner of Chat Sports. And BetUS is offering a great deal just for Seahawks Today viewers. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code Seahawks125, they'll give you a 125% deposit bonus. You put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. You can even bet on this weekend's matchup between the Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And you look at the numbers for this weekend, and I got to tell you, I think that this is easy money. I mean, BetUS is going to give you that free $125 to spend. Might as well put it down on the Seahawks to cover. 10 points, way too high for me personally. I am taking the Seahawks to cover that margin. The over-under, I'm leaning towards the under when we look at the weather situation. But for me, take advantage of betting on your Seahawks this weekend. Let's cover 2 weeks in a row here. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. So a while back, Pete Carroll had this to say about Kenneth Walker III. And let me bring this to you now, to your attention. This is what Pete Carroll had to say about Walker. You talk about surprises. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's so well-rounded. A runner. He's blocking. Again, I think I mentioned it the other day, but his pass protection stuff, he just turned the page from college. But I think for this kid, everything is important. He wants to be great, and he's not going to let any stone be unturned. So I'm really excited to see how he goes. In the preseason, we did not see Kenneth Walker a whole lot. Saw him in that first game against the Steelers. 5 carries, 19 yards, had 1 catch for 11 yards in that game, and I imagine that production is going to pick up quite a bit for Kenneth Walker III there. Lance Erline, who works for NFL Network and scouts every player coming out, this is what his scouting report was on Kenneth Walker III. He said this: Walker is a compact back with a very powerful, sturdy base. He can find his own yards with twitchy directional change, with run blocking, breaks down, and possesses plus-rated contact balance to add on his yardage throughout the game. Walker is a very determined runner who is more reactive than instinctive, which leads to wide shifts in his rush track. He can handle RB1 workload in terms of carries, but needs work as a third down option. Walker would benefit from better rush track discipline, but his explosiveness and unpredictable style should lead to success as a future starter. So, how about that? I like all of that about Rashaad Penny, personally. And you hear the receiving thing, that needs work, but like we talked about, that's what you got DK Dallas for. So, with that, let's show some love for Kenneth Walker III. Type in his jersey number. He'll be wearing number 9. I know that for some people it's still weird to see running backs wearing single digits, but I'm telling you, it's a sexy look. I love seeing the position players wearing the single digits personally. Type 9, show Kenneth Walker III some love in the comments section. Couple roster updates for you as linebacker Tanner Muse has been activated to the 53-man roster alongside long snapper Carson Tinker, and Tyler Ott has moved to injured reserve. Now, Tanner Muse, if you remember, this was a guy that did not make the initial 53-man, was then signed on to the practice squad, and now he's back into the fold. Former third-round pick by the Raiders out of Clemson. Won a national championship with the Clemson Tigers. The situation with Ott, injury, Tinker replaces him, and I would assume he's going to be your long snapper going forward. Before we go on today's show here, I promised you that I would shout out the first 10 people that followed me on Twitter and retweeted my pinned tweet of my reaction to the Seahawks win. But you know what? I'm going to take it up a notch. We're going to shout out everybody that shared my tweet, because you guys are real ones. We love you here on Seahawks Today. That includes Michael, Nate, Andy, Bobby, Cola, also Frody, T-Wolves, Chris Dunn, Les Rhodes, Gordon Webb. Also, who shared my tweet? Carrie, I see PETA, Savage Cookie. There's no cookie like the Savage Cookie. That sick guy. K. Kelly, CPA. Let's see, TWVSN. Ramir95, OTX, Fatman _ the one and only Jeremy Chuggs also checking in as well. Jeremy, we love you here on Seahawks Today. And then my boss, James Yoder, as well. Thank you, boss, for that there. As always, you can follow me on that Twitter page at Tyler Jones Live. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook as well. Same handle, Tyler Jones Live, talking about your Seahawks all the time in one place. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow me there, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, so today is National Cream-Filled Donut Day.
Pause.
So,
Sus.
I want to know, What is your favorite donut? As I bring Jeremy Chuggs back in here now. And we're going to embrace debate on this, I'm sure.
Unpopular opinion, I
owe some shots.
I really love a cake donut.
Okay.
A blueberry cake donut, supreme. Hey, thanks, Josh. Josh said he loves the show.
Josh,
appreciate you, man.
Love you, man. You're a real one. Favorite donut for me. Okay. And
you seem like a bear claw kind of guy, or something like that, or like
no,
or like a cruller or whatever.
So, my favorite donut is, and this is not free advertising. I'm just being honest. A hot glazed donut from Krispy Kreme. That, to me, that's my favorite donut. Here in Texas, we got Daylight Donuts. Love those glazed donuts, too. I'm a big glazed donut guy.
Yep.
Like some chocolate donuts. Now, as far as the cream-filled donuts goes, Jeremy.
You're not a big filled donut guy.
Not a fan. I don't need any stuffing or any extra stuff in those donuts. What about you?
I like fruit-filled donuts, like a blueberry or a strawberry, or I agree with Dirty Deed. Da, da, da. He said lemon-filled. Sorry, I had to do that with his name. I like that too. Also, really good, and Ray said it, maple donut with bacon on top.
Okay.
Have you ever had that?
I have. That's a good call.
Very good donut.
Very hard to find, though. They don't sell them at every donut shop.
XQZ says chocolate frosted. Love a good chocolate frosted. Chris is with me with the blueberry cake. We have glazed twist, strawberry sprinkled. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of just like the strawberry or like blueberry sprinkles.
Chris says blueberry. Poop Dog says everything. I'm seeing glazed twist from Mark Sanchez. George says yes. Let's see. Got a raspberry donut.
Ooh, yeah.
Hard pass on the raspberry donut. Matthew says Homer Simpson donut.
Mark says legendary. I'm guessing it's a donut shop in Seattle. Needs to get rid of the Rust donut.
Probably a good idea.
I think it's time.
Might be time for a Geno donut.
Ooh, donut holes. I know it's just glazed donuts, but donut holes go pretty hard.
Okay, plain old-fashioned. Got to be a Boston cream. See, that's the thing. We're not cream guys around here.
I like cream.
Okay, yeah, you do like cream.
Cream filled.
Bally Llama says maple cream. It's like Boston cream. Raw Hector says donut holes. Jared says Boston cream. A Reese's donut. I've never had a Reese's donut. By the way, it's Reese's, not Reese's. People.
How did I forget? One of my favorites is an apple fritter.
Is that considered a donut?
Yes.
Okay.
It's at donut shops. Have you had an apple fritter?
I have. It's fine.
I love an apple fritter.
Not my favorite.
Thanks for the recognition, Scott Clark. Apple fritter, I totally forgot it. Apple fritters go hard.
Matthew says, do brownies count? No.
Nah.
Brownies are not donuts.
I mean, donuts are basically just sugar balls, but
I do like some donut holes.
Also, side note, sugar balls, that's what my ex used to call me. Red velvet donut from Raw Hector.
That's good.
French cruller from Ray.
Red velvet donut. Isn't red velvet just food coloring?
That laugh is incredible.
Oh, hold on, Chase Senior. Hold on here.
Boo!
Get the mic out.
Boo!
Get the mic. We need the mic out. Oh, hold on. We're about to have a cameo appearance from Chase Senior.
While we're doing this, go ahead, get hashtag Seahawks in the comments. Super chat to skip the line. Coach Dreadhead, we saw your super chat.
Let's catch up on some super chats.
Coach Dreadhead, you're going to be first in line for our Q&A. You're going to be the very first question that I put up on the screen, Coach Dreadhead.
I do have some shots to take from.
Take him down.
Well, who do I owe this to? I mean,
Coach Dreadhead.
To Coach Dreadhead.
Also,
how many do I owe him of shots? $5 discount.
One.
Okay.
Also, where are you on the mini powder donuts?
They're fine. Not my favorite.
Debo. Whoa.
Oh, get out of here.
Debo. Whoa.
Boo. 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 Everybody boo him in the comments.
Boo.
Boo.
Get those boos in the chat.
Boo. Boo him in the comments right now. Everybody,
boos
in the comments. Let's go.
San Fran.
Oh, no.
Never mind.
Oh, you already know the deal.
Okay,
Oh.
We'll see you Sunday.
I get what everybody was talking about when they were saying what they hated about the 49ers now.
Right.
Sorry,
They're annoying
guys.
fans. I mean, your city is shit. I mean,
Boo.
Seattle's a great city. I mean, like people are staying. You know, they're not. You don't have to worry about.
I see you, Luigi.
Boo.
You got a Niner fan here.
Boo.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
get off.
in Seattle, you don't have to worry about needles in the streets, as we were told here. You know, from people that were there.
There's poop everywhere.
I'm seeing a lot of boos. George says you suck.
Raw Hector's sitting in
You
the.
got called a punk. Somebody said you're a punk ass. I'll defend Chase. He's not a punk ass.
He's an ass punk.
He's just an ass punk.
Raw Hector says boo.
Thank you, Raw Hector.
Boo. God.
Cheers to you, Raw Hector. This is good for Matthew. Don't touch him. You might get poked with syringe.
Ray said disgusting. I just went blind. Yeah.
Oh, no. Dom Towney says y'all got swept last year. Yeah. Poop Dog says, sorry, we got needles here too. By the way, if we get to $100 in soups, then Jeremy Chug's going to do a boot, and I'm offering a $5 special today. $5 for every $5 super chat.
Yeah.
I will take a shot of Fireball. I'm about 4 shots in so far.
Fun fact, every 49ers fan that I met sits when they pee. Fun fact. They all sit when they pee.
Chase went away to go sit down and pee. Oh, gosh. All right.
Chase said he likes the cream filled, and he's not talking about the donuts.
You said that, not me. Coming up next, you use the hashtag Seahawks, or you can super chat. You'll go right to the front of the line, and we'll get started with our mailbag here on Seahawks Today. That's how you can do it. And by the way, the hashtag Seahawks, why you need to use that is so Jeremy Chugs makes his life a lot easier to sort out the questions to go through. So use that hashtag or super chat. Go right to the first in line. And we'll get started here with the Seahawks Today mailbag. All right, we ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. You ain't alive if you ain't subscribed to Seahawks Today, as we're covering your team each and every day like no one else is. And join our award-winning Seahawks mailbags that we do each and every week. It's a part of our live shows on the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of Seahawks Today. Subscribe now at youtube.com/Seahawks TV. Be a real one. Join the 12s here on the channel each and every day. It is Seahawks Today, and it is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Plan starting at just $15 a month. My buddy Ryan Reynolds is offering a great deal for Seahawk fans. If they go to mintmobile.com/chatsports, you can be a part of America's largest 5G network and start saving today. Only $15 a month. A great deal to start saving now. Unlimited talk, text, everything in between. mintmobile.com/chatsports. First question coming in from Coach Dreadhead. A super chat wants to know how many yards Kenneth Walker gets in his debut. Well, I think that they're going to go easy on him, on the workload at least. First game back from the hernia. I think they would like to test him out to see where he's at, but I don't think that they're going to push it too much. So with that, I think that he gets anywhere between 5 to 10 touches. I think the majority of the workload this week will go to Rashaad Penny. We'll see a big increase in that later on as the season progresses, and we know that he's, closer to 100% healthy. But I would say, realistically, this first game, Kenneth Walker gets probably anywhere from 25 to 50 yards in this debut. I keep it relatively simple, and then we'll see where things go from there. But thanks for the question and the super chat, Dreadhead. Next one from Doom wants to know, would signing free agent Landon Collins be a good move? So, as of this recording, we're waiting on the status of Jamal Adams. Surgery required, could be out as much as 5 to 8 months, which would mean he's out for the season. And Ryan Neal, I really like as a backup safety. I think that Ryan Neal can fill in just fine. But if Landon Collins is potentially available, if that's the move you want to go, if he's not going to cost you too much, I'd be open to that possibility. Not a bad idea. I know that Landon Collins has had some injury issues of his own right. So would it be a good move? Yes. But I like what I've seen from Ryan Neal, too. You're going to need depth either way, so Landon Collins could be a possibility. Doom, thank you for that question and for the super chat as well. My guy, Mark Sanchez, New York Jets legend, writes in. Another shot. Do you guys think any of the rookies will be a Pro Bowler this season? Well, let's look at the rookie class for Seattle. Charles Cross at left tackle, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker III, Tariq Woolen, Abraham Lucas, Kobe Bryant, the list goes on and on. Pro Bowl might be a reach, personally. I think Woolen's probably got the best shot because he's already starting at outside corner, and he looked really good in that first regular season game there against Denver on Monday night. He would probably have the best shot, but I'm probably saying no as far as Pro Bowl. That might be a little overambitious, but this is a good group. There'll be many Pro Bowls in these guys' future, but I would say that Tariq Woolen probably has the best shot of being that Pro Bowl candidate. One thing, though, I'll say this much before we move on, Mark, is remember, the way they do the Pro Bowl now, it's the week before the Super Bowl, so all the players in the Super Bowl are not playing in the Pro Bowl. And then when you add in the injuries and the fact that they don't go to Hawaii anymore, you end up with like the fourth and fifth reserves of the Pro Bowl making the Pro Bowl. So if that's the case, then Tariq Woolen could make it. But as far as like first ballot Pro Bowl, I think unlikely. That's a bit of a reach. But these guys have some Pro Bowls in their future. Thanks for the super chat, Mark. Next one from Dano writes, what was your take about our young defense stopping the Broncos on the goal line stands? Unbelievable. Unbelievable what we saw. The 2 fumbles that they forced, I mean, that was awesome. I was just so impressed of what the Seahawks did to be able to make those stands when push came to shove. I mean, we've seen firsthand, Russell Wilson, he's had some bad moments at the goal line. And on Monday night, those moments were continued with the fumbles that occurred and the way that these guys stepped up and got aggressive like they did. I loved it from that Seahawks defense. That was awesome to see. Those young guys, they grew up a lot. And when you look at this season, the Seahawks only have 2 primetime games this year. The next one will be a Thursday night game on Amazon. Of a national stage in front of the entire country, it won't get any bigger than what it did on Monday night. You could argue that Monday night was not their biggest game of the year. You can argue that, sure. But what you can't argue is the stage this season will not be any bigger, at least in the regular season, than it was on Monday night. And those guys stepped up and were ready for that moment. I loved what I saw there. Thanks for the question, Dano. Seahawks country, let's fly. Now that the Seahawks beat Russ, is it okay to tank this season? Well, I am always of the belief that when it comes to tanking, that's not something that I prefer to do, that you should put your best effort out and try to win every game possible, that you should put your best foot forward. Okay, you got the win that even the tankers, I'll call them the tankers, even the tankers wanted to win on Monday night, right? And so, you could go that route and you could find yourself with a high draft pick, but I don't think that Pete Carroll and this coaching staff are going to intentionally try to lose. And I think when you looked at the way the guys stepped up and the effort that was made there, you are going to see this team continue to push and play hard all season long. The effort, I think, is going to be there every week. How many wins does that result in? I don't know. But it's not going to be this team giving up. I don't think you're rooting for this team to not try hard. The effort will be there this season. What the results of that may be, we'll see. But I think you want to see this team play hard every week. Should the Seahawks tank this season? What say you? Let us know in the comments section. Type Y for yes, type in for no. Let me know one way or the other. Should Seattle take this season? Y for yes, in for no. Robbie Red writes, Coleman at nickel was shaky against the Broncos. That's a super chat from Robbie. Robbie, appreciate you. You're a real one. Yeah, he was. He didn't play the best. I think that we could see the Seahawks change some things up where we see Kobe Bryant playing some of that nickel. Obviously, you're going to get Trey Brown back at some point this year. He's on PUP. I'm curious what role there is for Trey Brown. Remember, Trey Young, getting my Oklahoma Sooners mixed up there. Trey Young, of course, the NBA player that went to Oklahoma. Trey Brown, the cornerback that was at Oklahoma, now with the Seahawks. Trey Brown did not play in this system last year. No one on this Seahawks team did. And so when he gets back, he's going to have to learn this new system, and he'll be behind while everyone else has been in this system for a while. So I'm curious where Trey Brown fits into the equation here. But, yes, Coleman not great, but help is on the way. We'll put it that way. Thanks for the super chat, Robbie. The Club writes in, #Seahawks. Do you think Geno was afraid to throw it deep, or was that the game plan? I lean towards that was the game plan. I think so. I don't think that they were trying to push it too much, and we saw Geno make plays. And one thing that I liked from Geno in particular was that he was able to target those big receivers, right? The big receivers, the big tight ends. He did a really good job of getting the ball in their hands. And the way that those guys stepped up, in particular the tight ends, besides Noah Fant, I mean, Will Dissly and Colby Parkinson were really good catching the football there. So you got him comfortable in the offense. I think they will extend the field further as the season goes along. But that was the game plan, and it was just fine. I have no problem with that personally. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile, and with as much money you're about to save with Mint Mobile and all the access that they give you, even your mom is going to ask you to stop calling so much. Look, Mint Mobile provides you service where you can seamlessly switch between 5G and 4G LTE. Whichever stronger, you're going to get the best with Mint Mobile. You can use your data however you like, even when you don't have a coffee shop, which I know there's tons of coffee shops, obviously, in Seattle, but somehow if you find yourself not having a coffee shop, don't worry. Mint Mobile's got you covered at mintmobile.com/chatsports. Plans starting at just $15 a month. Start saving today. Look, folks, times are tough. We're all trying to find every dollar we can. Why not start saving on your cell phone right now? Start saving today. mintmobile.com/chatsports. The one and only Nick Fury checks in. #Seahawks. #Papa Seahawk. Geno Smith proved the doubters wrong. Can he do it again at Santa Clara and ball out? Plus, does he have a chance at MVP? I think the Seahawks do have a chance against San Francisco this weekend. San Fran looked bad against a lowly Chicago Bears team. Okay? And the Seahawks coming in with momentum. Geno Smith, I think you ask him to do things similar to what he did against Denver, where you don't want him to turn the ball over, but you want him to make the necessary plays. Yeah, I think he very well could have a good day against the Niners if he plays like he did against Denver. Does he have a chance at MVP? No, sorry. No, Geno Smith's not winning MVP. I don't mean to break that to you right now, but that's unlikely. That's not happening. Arsenal Apex, #Seahawks. After the season, should we trade Lockett for draft picks? I don't want to lose Lockett, but it's just an idea. So one of the things when we were all going through this offseason and trying to figure out the future of the Seattle Seahawks that we brought up on this channel a lot, when people would ask us last year if the Seahawks should trade Tyler Lockett, I told you it just didn't make financial sense whatsoever, that the hard cap and all that just did not add up for them to trade off Tyler Lockett. As far as next year goes, You get the cap freedom. It's not nearly as bad, but personally, I like Tyler Lockett. He's still a very talented player. He's coming off the best few seasons of his career. I think that momentum can continue. I like Tyler Lockett a lot, unless you get some deal that you can't just turn down, that is a deal that you cannot deny. I would keep Tyler Lockett as long as you can. I like Tyler Lockett, and he's a really good possession receiver, good compliment to DK Metcalf. I would not be moving on from Lockett. Seahawks are in first place. Can they win the division? It's going to be tough. You know, I wish the Seahawks were kind of like in the AFC South or something, because you look at how bad that division is with like the Colts and the Jags and the Texans. I mean, that division played themselves this past week and still didn't win a game. This division, I know everybody's 0-1 right now, but it is brutal. Defending champ Rams, San Francisco got to the NFC title game last year, and then Arizona still has Kyler Murray. And although I'm not a big fan of Cliff Kingsbury, their head coach, they have some talent there. So can they win the division? I don't think so. But that's why we play the games. Let's see. So you tell me now, true or false, the Seahawks won't make the playoffs in 2022. Is that statement true or is that statement false? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. Type T for true, F for false. Let me know. Hey, there is Tom Downey. Actually, not quite. That is Dom Towney checking in. Do you think it is realistic for us to get Anthony Richardson and Myles Murphy in the first round of this year's draft? Well, they do have two picks. Remember, the Seahawks have their pick and they have the Broncos pick. So, yeah, I think that's possible. I think they very well could. Anthony Richardson, I watched that game against Florida that Florida had against Utah week 1. That dude can ball out. Really good player. Myles Murphy, another good player as well, out of Clemson. Defensive lineman, some real talent there. And we've seen when Brent Venables was defensive coordinator at Clemson, all those guys that he was able to bring in on the defensive line and how well they've turned into in the National Football League. Myles Murphy could be another one of those guys as well. And we know that the Seahawks going into the future need help on the defensive line too. So, yeah, I mean, they very well could end up with both those guys. I don't think that's a stretch at all. Next question comes from Augusta. Augusta wants to know, Geno balled out on Monday. Any chance he is I think that means he is our quarterback beyond this year. Yeah, I think there is a chance that happens. I do think that no matter what, barring Geno Smith winning MVP, like was asked about earlier, barring that happening, I think the Seahawks are drafting a quarterback in the first round, whether it's an Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, one of those guys, they'll draft a quarterback. But Geno Smith could be a guy where next year, he starts the year and then they hand things off to the next guy or do a redshirt year. Geno knows the system, and let's see where he goes from here. How many games do you think Geno will play this year? Remember, Drew Lock's there. ESPN projected that we would see Drew Lock in Week 12. Based on the way things go Monday night, doesn't look like we're going to see Drew Lock anytime soon. But how many games will we see Geno Smith play this year? Will he play all 17? Put a number on it. Let me know in the comments section how many games Geno Smith will play in 2022. A couple more for you. This one comes from country music legend George Strait. Who should I start this week, Penny or Singletary, in a full PPR league? Look, I know this much. The Seahawks are going to be running the football a lot. It is going to be raining. The weather is not going to be great. I'm riding with Rashaad Penny. Rashaad Penny, and one other factor, too, like we have talked about, that Kenneth Walker III, he's back, and that's great. But I think they're going to ease him in. I don't think that they're going to, work him over too much. I think Rashaad Penny gets a lot of carries. I'd play Rashaad Penny this week. Bigfoot says, you think the Hawks sign Jaquiski Tart. Thank you, Jeremy. Maybe? I don't know. I personally. The Seahawks were not that active and moves that they made in free agency with some of the guys that they looked at. To me, that one, I think the Seahawks, as far as any roster moves, they're going to look towards their practice squad and kind of move up from there. So I don't see Tart being added to the Seahawks as far as I'm concerned there. Last question from Daniel, #Seahawks. Do you think Seattle drafts a center in the first round in the 2022 NFL draft? Second or third round, probably. One of the things I point to, the best center that I've seen, that I've scouted the last few years, was none other than Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma, who was a Pro Bowler this past year for the Chiefs and was just outstanding. And those centers, those guys, you wait till later on. I was surprised Tyler Linderbaum went as high as he did, quite frankly, when the Ravens took him in the first round. Center is kind of almost the forgotten about position, it seems like, on the offensive line at times. I don't see them, the Seahawks, prioritizing with their other needs, going with the center in the first round. They will draft a center more than likely, but first round, I don't see that happening. So, before we go, as always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those social media platforms, at Tyler Jones Live. Follow me there. Would love to hear from you guys each and every day, and we'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, we got one more segment coming up, but before we do, if you could choose any superpower, what would it be and why? Jeremy Chuggs, you go first.
All right, this one's pretty easy for me. I love some Marvel. I love some superhero movies. DC. I think Dark Knight's better than the most recent Batman, but that's a conversation for another day. My top superpower, control time.
Okay.
Go forward, backward, pause time. I feel like that is like the most elite. Like, it doesn't matter how fast or strong you are. If I can pause time, like, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like, time's frozen.
That's a good one. I would choose teleportation. I would love to just be anywhere at any time.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, if I had the power just to snap my finger and be somewhere, think about this much with teleportation, okay? I like to travel, and we've seen those lines at TSA these days. Ain't nobody got time for that. I need teleportation because I don't need to be going through TSA personally.
Hey, the morning after, you're just like, she's like, hey, what do you want to do today? You're just like, bam, not even here.
Right? I'm gone. See ya. That would be my answer there. Another one I would do, superpower, is mind control. I would love to just sit here right now and control exactly what Jeremy Chuggs is thinking. I know that he's thinking about cream-filled donuts right now, but if it were up to me, I would have him fully focused on that boot and how fast he could get through that boot.
We're only $75 away, so.
$75 away from Jeremy Chuggs
There you have
down
it.
in a boot, by the way.
Mark Sanchez, I love that answer. Do you like Avatar? The Last Airbender?
I'm not big into Avatar. No.
Loser. The ability.
I'm not big into the blue Avatar either.
Mark Sanchez, says he wants to be a rock bender like Toph. Are you talking about also, do you want to bend metal as well? Oh, yeah, he says rock and metal. I feel like I would be more of either an earthbender or a waterbender, but that's just me.
Ray says the power of getting women. Okay. Poop Dog says X-ray. Need I say more? Bali Lama says easy, time travel. I'm going back to win the lottery. Ray says teleporting so I can go rob banks. We're not encouraging that behavior around here.
But see, also time control. I could go back in time, tell my parents, invest in Google and Tesla. And then we're millionaires today.
That's true. By the way, so we're offering a special today, $5 shots. I'll also take a shot when we get to 150 likes. We're at 100 right now, so 50 more. In fact, every 50 likes is a shot. So here's one, but I'll take another one after.
Dom Towney, is being super rich a superpower? Yes, that's Batman. So
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, yeah, super rich.
Karthik says,
yeah.
seducing Tyler Jones.
I feel like I already have that superpower.
All right. Let's see. If that's the case, Karthik, if you want to try to seduce me, slide into my DMs, right? Okay.
That laugh.
We're at 100 likes. When we get to 150, this shot is ready to go. Or we will take that shot if you just buy it for me for $5.
There we go.
That's the deal there.
Also, because this is a Seahawks channel, I have another Seahawks question for you. In your opinion, who is the best Seahawks player this season? Who has impressed you the most? Who are you like, damn, this is my favorite player right now? Who you got?
So for me, the best Seahawks player is, and I know he didn't play great on Monday night, but the best player is DK Metcalf, the guy that you've paid all that money for, with his ability, his talents. I mean, I have not seen a wide receiver built like him since Megatron, since Calvin Johnson. And he's been so good these last 3 years.
Wow.
I think his best football is still ahead of him.
That's high praise.
I'm going with DK Metcalf. What about you, Jeremy?
Best player on the Seahawks right now. I mean, I can't go DK Metcalf because you just went DK Metcalf. So you really messed me up on that one. When he comes back, you know who I really like?
Okay.
Full strength, who I think could be the best player on this team, Quandre Diggs.
Okay.
I love what he does on the back end. I thought that was a steal of a trade whenever the Seahawks were able to get Quandre. And I think fully healthy, he's one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah, Quandre's good. You can't go wrong with Quandre Diggs there. I believe
Brooks?
NFL Network rated him, Quandre Diggs, as one of the top 10 safeties in football.
Also, one of the most surprising players who, if you were watching the Seahawks Today, our show, back in the middle of the summer, Tyler Jones was all on Uchenna Nwosu.
Uchenna Nwosu, yes. And Uchenna was awesome on Monday night.
Yeah.
I talked about him a lot. Brought him over from Los Angeles Chargers. Had one of the forced fumbles in the win. Was able to get a sack, good tackle for loss. And Nwosu, he's one of my guys. In the comments, let's see. RJ says K9. You haven't even seen him play yet. He's already your favorite player? Okay.
Fair enough.
Ray says Jordan Brooks. Brian says right now Mike Jackson. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Daniel says Nwosu. Raw Hector says Diggs. Matthew says Diggs or Metcalf. Pick one, Matthew. We didn't ask for two.
Don't be a flip-flopper!
Let's see. Mark Sanchez says going forward, Abraham Lucas. Good luck finding a jersey there on that for Abraham Lucas.
You could do it. You just have to customize it.
Let's see. What else? Bigfoot says, does Pete count? No.
A lot of Mike Jacksons in the chat.
A lot of Mike Jackson. Nick Fury says DK Metcalf. Brian says Mike Jackson. Brian says Mike Jackson because of Monday. Dom Towney says Tariq Woolen. Before he was drafted, I was pissed we didn't get him in round 2. Well, you got him in round 5, so I'd say it worked out.
All right, Tyler, favorite Michael Jackson song?
Favorite Michael Jackson song? Black or White?
Oh, okay.
What about you?
That's going in the bag. I mean, it has to be Billie Jean, right?
Okay, Billie Jean's great, too.
Billie Jean.
The song's about Billie Jean King, right?
No, it is not.
Not about Billie Jean King.
Oh, all right.
What do you guys? One more. Let's see. Mike Jackson, DK Metcalf. Let's see what else we got in the chat. I see Diggs in the chat. Billie Jean. Billie Jean did not play for the Seahawks,
Yeah.
to my knowledge.
This is not your girl.
No.
Is that y'all's favorite? Okay, beat it from Brian. What's y'all's favorite Michael Jackson song?
Just beat it. We call that the around the office. The song "Beat It" is the Left Hand Lotta Ray song.
Oh God, catching strays.
Oh wait, got a super chat. This one,
Marky Mark.
Mark Sanchez again.
Our guy.
Mark, $5 chat. Jeremy and Tyler, you guys are awesome. Really looking forward to the season with you guys. Mark Sanchez, you are awesome. This one's
my
for
guy. Hey, since I got the shout out, go ahead and pour me up one.
you. Okay. I got you. I got you one right here, buddy.
Got Smooth Criminal from Raw Hector. That's a good one.
There you go, bud.
Just toss it.
Oh, yeah, just toss it. Yeah, over
Toss it
all
over
this
here.
equipment. Yeah, great idea. Jeremy Chugg's all yours, buddy.
Appreciate it, Mark.
Mark, buying us shots. Buying 2 for 1 there. $5 special today. $5 will get you a shot. We're also 40 likes away from another shot as well here on the show. And Jeremy said if we got to 100 in supers today, we're at $30 right now. If we get to 100, so about $70 away, then Jeremy Chuggs will do a boot.
Also, underrated song, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. Oh, right as I said it, Matthew put it in there. Man in the Mirror.
Daniel, Thriller. That's another good one.
Yeah. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm telling him to change his ways.
So, little inside baseball folks out there. Me and Jeremy, we are desk mates, and we probably sing more than anybody in the office.
Yeah.
It's always a party at our spots in the office.
Little party never hurt nobody.
I think we're probably going to be singing Thriller after the show.
Oh, I'm gonna put on some mic for us.
All right.
All right.
Final segment coming up in just a moment, and we are going to preview the Seahawks and 49ers. Tell you everything you need to know to get ready for Sunday. That's coming up next here on Seahawks Today.
Also, Mark, PYT, what does that stand for? PYT, Michael Jackson song.
I can't remember.
Dun, dun, pretty young thing. Ba, ba.
I love it. I love it. All right, final segment here on Seahawks Today starts right now. We are in a like battle with the Niners channel, a like war, rather, as we are at about 1,200 likes here on the channel this week. Got some catching up to do. We don't want to just beat the 49ers on the field, but we want to beat them off the field as well and prove that we have the best fans anywhere. And they're right here on Seahawks Today. So go ahead and like today's video to show some love for your Seattle Seahawks and Seattle's Seahawks Today. Seahawks are already 1-0, and I think one of the reasons why they're 1-0 is because of the likes that we had before. So don't be the guy that is the reason why the Seahawks lose. Like today's video for a Seahawks win against the San Francisco 49ers. Seahawks and Niners, a divisional battle between these two teams as the Seahawks coming off a win against the Denver Broncos, the San Francisco 49ers coming off a loss against the Chicago Bears. And this game, every single year, always provides some excitement of some sort. Doesn't matter if the game's in Seattle or Santa Clara, these two teams do not like each other, and they put on quite a show. And now we see Trey Lance for the first time as the full-time starter for the San Francisco 49ers, facing Geno Smith. Folks, we're in for a treat. It will be an ugly day in Santa Clara on Sunday, as we are looking at a lot of rain coming down. The over-under set at about 41.5. I think the point totals aren't going to be very high for this game. You're going to be running the ball, running through the rain. The Niners struggled with that last week. Rain is another day in Seattle as far as I'm concerned. Seahawks, 10-point underdogs. I'll give you my pick coming up later on. But I got to tell you that bet you can make right now on BetUS, promo code Seahawks125, chatsports.com/bet. I have no idea how you would not be betting on the Seahawks this week as 10-point underdogs. I mean, take that money, folks. That's free money. I mean, not only do you get the 125% deposit bonus with $125 to spend for free when you put $100 down, but then a 10-point line to work with as well. Hammer that, folks. Put your money on the Seahawks to cover this week against San Francisco. All right. So with that, you don't have to make a bet right now. Predict the score. How are things going to work out for the Seahawks against the Niners? Let us know in the chat what the score will be for the Seahawks. Will we see a win? Will it be a Niners win? Let us know in the comments section. Seahawks, Niners, put a score on it. Here are my keys to victory for the Seahawks against the Niners. First and foremost is force Trey Lance to beat you. Look, Trey Lance has made 3 career starts at this point in his career. And nothing he has shown has left anything to be desired. The jury is still out on Trey Lance. Trey Lance, right now, has not played like a starting quarterback in the National Football League. 46% completion percentage last week. I know it was raining. I know it was ugly and all that. But the Bears are not a good football team. I mean, 46%? That's horrific. Trey Lance has looked bad. And if I'm the Seahawks, I would say, fine, Trey Lance, you try to beat us. We're going to load the box, and we're going to stop the run. Trey Lance, I dare you. I triple dog dare you to try to take us on and beat us. I would take my chances on that. A young quarterback that has not played well, force him into making mistakes, all that, do it. I dare you. Number 2, offensively for Seattle, got to establish the run. And you look for this Seahawks team as they take on this San Francisco bunch. We mentioned the weather and all that. To me, this plays well to the Seahawks' advantage of what they want to do to run the football. And although the Seahawks are a team that wants to run the football a lot, realistically, the ground game last week against Denver, even though the Seahawks won, wasn't that great. Rashaad Penny, 12 carries, 60 yards. Geno Smith had 6 carries for 14 yards. Travis Homer had 1 carry for 2 yards. It didn't go great for Seattle running the football. But I have good news for you. Kenneth Walker III is going to make his debut on Sunday. I don't know how much he's going to play. First game back from this hernia injury. I'm sure they want to ease him into things. But at least you have the option for him there, for him to make an impact, to rotate in with this running back rotation. So I like this Seahawks running back room. Kenneth Walker III will be a nice addition to have. Don't know how much he'll play, but just having him back is a positive, and the run numbers should go up a bit. I think the Seahawks will run the ball more. They'll see more yardage as well. I'm running it all day over this San Francisco defense. More yards on Sunday. Rashaad Penny or Kenneth Walker III? That's our pinned comment today. Is Kenneth Walker III good enough, healthy enough wise, and is he going to provide that spark where he gets the workload, or is it Rashaad Penny's workload on Sunday? Let us know in the comments section. Type RP for Rashaad Penny. Type KW3 for Kenneth Walker III. Let us know either way. RP for Rashaad Penny, KW3 for Kenneth Walker III. Let me know. And you got to make sure that you are subscribed to Seahawks Today. We're going to be doing another watch party on Sunday. We'll start about 15 minutes before kickoff for the Seahawks and the 49ers. We will be doing a pregame show, reacting to this game in real time, and also a live postgame mailbag as well, right here on the channel for this matchup. We're doing these watch parties all year long, and I got to tell you, this Sunday is going to be a treat. You're going to want to make sure that you're here and all your friends are here as well, because it is going to be a dandy of a time coming up Sunday. We'll get started. Kickoff is just after 4 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock West Coast time. So get here, be a part of what we're doing. Going to be a fun time for Seahawks and Niners. Whether you can watch the game or not, we're going to tell you everything you need to know about this game. Join us on Sunday, youtube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe today. Next up, got to contain Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is one of the most explosive players in all of football. Remember, not too long ago, he demanded a trade. He wanted out of San Francisco. But the Niners did everything they could to keep him. They got him a new deal. They told him he wasn't going to run the football as much. But based on the numbers last week, he still ran the ball a decent amount. 8 carries, 52 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. And as explosive as Deebo Samuel is, game planning for him is so difficult. Because whether it's as a receiver or a backfield, I mean, he's one place and then the next moment he's over here. I mean, it's so hard to keep up with him. If you could contain him to some extent, and granted, he's still going to get his. If you can take away Deebo Samuel, that will go a long way. I can tell you that right now. Just containing him to some extent, avoid from letting him get those big plays, watch out. That'll certainly help you as far as that goes. Chicago, they let him get the carries, but holding him just 14 receiving yards, you'll take that any day. Number 4 on my keys to the game this week. I would say you got to focus in the passing game of getting the ball to the big receivers. And here's what I mean by that. Geno Smith, we have talked about a lot on this show, played good, really good on Monday. And one of the things that he did in particular, and you always wonder how a new quarterback is going to gel with the offense, Geno Smith was much more comfortable with the big receivers than he was the shorter guys. And the numbers here, to me, are really fascinating. Here's the difference, what I'm talking about here. Geno Smith against Denver, to receivers that were 6'4" and taller, accounted for 15 catches, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Okay? Now, the numbers of him, comparably speaking, to receivers that were shorter than that, 5'10" or less, were not even close. 8 catches, 57 yards, no touchdowns. Okay? So Geno Smith, at least right now anyway, now Tyler Lockett and those guys you would hope are able to get more involved in the offense and that he could get more comfortable with those guys. But for the time being, Geno Smith favors getting it to the big fellas. DK, Will Dissly, Colby Parkinson, Noah Fant. And so if I'm Geno Smith, knowing where your comfort level's at, and Shane Waldron with this offense calling the plays, I would do what I can to make things easy for Geno and get to those bigger receivers. That's what I would focus on. Size matters, folks. And I think that for Geno, that would be the goal. What you want to do to put him in the best position to succeed is get the ball to those playmakers with those large body frames as far as I'm concerned. Confidence level going into Sunday. Seahawks are 1-0. Now taking on this Niners team. You feeling good? You look good, you feel good, you play good. It looks good on Monday. Get paid good, too. What's your confidence level going into Sunday? Let me know in the comments section. Scale it 1 through 100. Is it a 69 maybe? I don't know. Confidence level. You tell me. How you feeling going into Sunday? What's your confidence level? Let me know. Last but not least, win the turnover battle. And I feel like I could say this one about every week, right? Kind of goes without saying, but we had to throw that in there. And here's the numbers. Last week against Denver. Seattle won the turnover battle by 1, 2 turnovers to 1. But it was still significant based on, what was it, a 1-point game? I mean, 1 possession. The difference, right? Last week, compared to Denver, they recovered 2 fumbles, lost a fumble, no interceptions either way. Seattle had 2 takeaways. I think it's important, not only for Geno Smith and company to take care of the football and protect it in their own right, but also to continue to force those takeaways as well will be a big deal to win that turnover battle. So there you have it. Those are my keys to victory. Let's see if the Seahawks can pull it off on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. If the Seahawks do these 5 things, I can guarantee a Seahawks victory if they do these 5 things. But they got to do these 5 things, okay? Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today. We will see you next time. If you made it to the end of today's video, that means that you are a real one. Spam real one in the comments section to show yourselves out. We appreciate you. We will see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right, so we are just about done. Dr. Chicken just came back from school. Glad to have you with us, Chick. Let's see here. Confidence level heading into Sunday. Where are you guys at? The employed boss says 99. Travis says 100. Jim Bees says 30. Where are we at on this? Confidence level heading into Sunday. Brian says 100. By the way, we're almost done. We are 25 likes away from another shot, or every $5 super chat equals a shot. Also, we are $70 away from Jeremy Chugg's doing a boot before we go, a beer boot. 3 beers, and he can get it down in about less than 10 seconds. Let's see here. Nick says 87. Dom Downey, in very Tom Downey fashion, says 69. Dr. Chicken says 88. Alan says 90. AP Ranch says 50. Matthew says over 9,000. Wayne says 27.5. Tyrone says 89. Andrew says 80. So those are some of the confidence level meters. Jesse says, will Walker be a go? Yes, he will. If you missed it earlier when we talked about Kenneth Walker and his return, we'll have that video out for you in just a few minutes on the Seahawks Today channel. So check that out there. Guys, we've had a lot of fun today. Jeremy Chuggs, any final thoughts before we go?
We've had some might say we might have had too much fun today.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, when you're with the 12s, you can't help it.
There's no party like a 12 party.
Yeah.
Be here Sunday. Watch party. We will have a great time. We'll get started just about 15 minutes before kick, and I'll be with you the entire time. So we will see you then.
Jesse Beard, yes. Kenneth Walker will be a go.
Yes. AP Ranch says have a good evening. You as well, Ranch. All you 12s out there.
Oh, I love ranch.
Ranch or blue cheese?
With wings?
With anything. Salad.
With salad, ranch. Wings, if it's buffalo wings, blue cheese.
Dr. Chicken says, can we start the show later possibly? Maybe an hour. So we've talked about that. Should we start it later?
Why for yes and for no? Should we start the show an hour later? What do y'all think?
I mean, if we start later, that means Jeremy and I had to come to work later and stay later.
I wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't mind. I wanted sleeping in.
Little extra hour. Yes or no? Should we start the show an hour later? What do y'all think? Dr. Chicken says yes.
Okay.
What should we do?
What do you guys think? Let us know. Why for
Mark
yes?
says yes.
Mark Sanchez.
Our guy Mark says yes. We might have to do it. We might have to say yes.
Daniel says no.
Chicken says yes. Tom Harris says no. Matthew says no.
Now, all of you, though, are here, though, for our normal time. Mark says happy hour time. Yes, it is.
Hey.
Mark, you're a real one.
Wayne says yes.
Mark has been so good to us today. I mean, he's the MVP of the show.
Nick says yes.
As we leave today, this is to Mark, our show MVP. He sent in the most super chats. And this is to you, Mark. Appreciate you, buddy.
Our guy El Nini says yes.
My favorite quarterback, Mark Sanchez, with those super chats today. All right.
Maybe we test it out next week and just see how it goes.
Maybe so.